Hey World Changers, it's me, Miss McCarthy, with your Motivational Monday episode for the week. Now, in the last episode, we talked about the power of trying until it clicks. This time we're going to take it up to the next level and make sure that it sticks. Before we dive in though, don't forget to tap that like button and hit subscribe or follow so you're the first to know when I drop a new video. I hope that you were able to rest and recharge this weekend because now it's Monday. That's right. Now I know Mondays, they tend to get a bad reputation, right? I mean, for years, you all know that I dreaded Mondays. And I got tired of being kind of sad and stressed out on Mondays. So one day it just hit me. Instead of being so stressed out and sad that it's Monday, what if instead I change the message that keeps replaying in my brain? What if instead I choose to be pumped and excited about Mondays? And that is exactly what I did, and I tell you what, it changed my life. And I want you all to get this from a young age. The idea that Mondays, they don't have to have a bad reputation. You can love Mondays. You can be excited about Mondays if that is the choice you make when your feet hit the floor and you enter into the day. So let's go ahead and bust out our best power pose, y'all. Go ahead and stand up. Let's spread our feet apart. Put your hands on your hips, shoulders back, looking fierce and like a superhero, and repeat after me. This is how I Monday. Awesome, let's go ahead and dive in. In the last episode, we talked about the power of trying until it clicks. And in today's episode, and actually in the next episode too, we're going to talk about making sure that it sticks with you.
Try until it clicks. Make sure that it sticks.
A lot of times I get the opportunity to go and visit schools, visit students in their classrooms. And one of the most commonly asked questions that I get from students is, Miss McCarthy, how did you get to be so good at math?
Oh my goodness, I was not always good at math.
My response usually comes as a major shock to students and their teachers too. If you've seen some of my video lessons for math, I know that I make it seem like math is easy for 3rd grade, 4th grade, and 5th grade. Let's go ahead and take a side note and talk about that word easy, like saying,
this is so easy.
Honestly, we need to stop using that word because what might be easy for us might not be easy for somebody else. And you could actually be hurting somebody by saying this is easy. You can be hurting their self-esteem, hurting their confidence, and we don't want to do that. So instead of saying this is easy, what I think you're really trying to say is, this makes sense to me. So let's X out on this is easy and let's instead say, this makes sense to me. And you could follow it up with, can I help somebody?
This makes sense to me. Can I help somebody?
Now those words will lift somebody up instead of bringing them down. So try it. Okay, so back to students being shocked and their teachers being shocked that math didn't always make sense to me. You know, there was once a time when adding, subtracting, multiplying, dividing, tackling word problems, even counting was a challenge for me. And I love math. Now next week we're going to talk about how to make something make sense to the point where it doesn't take as much effort as it used to. But in today's episode, I want you to really understand and know when you've reached that point that it makes sense to you. It's sticking with you, it's not going anywhere. You fully understand. You have the knowledge, you have the understanding, or the process, you've got that down. So how do we know when we know something, that we've mastered it until it sticks with us? Well, I think it's important to go over some stages of learning.
These aren't really super official stages of learning. These are just learning as I see it.
So the first stage of learning something is the say what stage. Say that with me. Say what? This is the stage where you are confronted with new information and it might make you feel uncomfortable. You don't really know how to do something and you're like, how am I gonna do this? Say what? Stage number 1, say what? Now the second stage I think is the most important. It's the first step stage. So you have that new information that makes you go, say what? And now it's time to take the first step. It's a very important stage. The first step is the most important step in anything. After that, we've got the try until it clicks stage. So we have say what, first step, and try until it clicks. This is when you have taken the first step and you take a few more steps until you go, oh, I understand this. It might not make perfect sense to you, but it's starting to click, where you go, oh! After you try until it clicks, this is when you make sure that it sticks. The make sure that it sticks stage is when you've been practicing so much that you reach a point that you can do it on your own. You understand, you've got it down. After you make sure that it sticks, it's now important for you to use your gifts, your talents, your skills that you now know that you've made sure that it sticks to lift up other people, to help others. So here are the 5 steps again. Say what? Take the first step, try until it clicks, make sure that it sticks, and use your skills to help somebody else. Let's walk through a couple examples, okay? Now, hopefully you all know how to tie your shoes at this point, right? But you've had to go through the different stages to learn how to do this. So the first time that somebody tries to teach you how to tie your shoes, your first reaction is, say what? And then you have to take the first step by actually putting the laces into your hands and trying. And you don't just magically get it right away. If you do, that's awesome. But if you don't, and you're like me, it may have taken you some extra time. So you took the first step and then you tried. You kept working at it until it clicked, until you got it the first time. From there, it was important for you to make sure that it sticks by trying over and over and over again until you can pick it up and do it anytime, anywhere, practically in your sleep. And now that you are a shoe tying pro, it's now time to use your gifts, your talents, your skill of being able to tie your shoes to help somebody else. So if you notice that a kindergartner or a first grader in your school is needing some help with their shoelaces, that's when you can level it up and help somebody else. All right, so let's apply this to math now. The first time that you might see something, like if you're a 4th grader and you're seeing long division for the first time, you might go, say what? And then you take the first step. You pick up your pencil and you copy down the problem. That is the first step. And then you try until it clicks. You repeat it, the process, until you figure it out. You make sure that it sticks with lots of practice, which is what we're going to talk about in the next episode. And then finally, once you've got it and you can throw any long division problem at yourself, you can tackle it, you know how to do it. Now it's time to use your gifts and talents and skills of knowing how to divide to help somebody else. Remember, we don't say,
This is so easy.
no, we say, this makes sense to me. Who can I help? So as you're working through the stages, be honest with yourself. You'll know when you've got something, when you can do it, when you've definitely mastered it, because it doesn't feel as bumpy anymore. It feels kind of smooth to do. So that's your takeaway for this Motivational Monday episode, to make sure that it sticks.
Try until it clicks. Make sure that it sticks.
If you are interested in listening to the entire theme song, you can click the link below or somewhere around this video. And if you are a 3rd, 4th, or 5th grader who needs some help with math, math is my jam, and I love being able to make math fun, make it click, and make it stick for you. So I encourage you to hop on over to my website at mccarthymathacademy.com, where we can walk through math together. Before we go, let me remind you that you were born with something special, and it's your job while you are here to figure out what exactly that is, and then use it to make this world a better place. And yes, I'm talking to you. I'll see you next time, World Changers!